Alright, you already know what time it is. It's smoke detector unboxing time. Now this one, before I start, is actually a very special package. This was sent to me by a fellow collector, Frank Wakeman, who I don't think I've ever actually mentioned him on my channel before, but I'd like to give a huge shout out to him for sending me this unit. And he does not have actually no, he does have a YouTube channel, but he doesn't upload on it. So he's kind of a private collector, but yeah, but this one came from him. I exchanged the Sears early one model 246.57313 with the escape light, the one that I most recently got, that I featured in one of my recent shorts. I traded him that one. So that's enough rambling. Let's go ahead and open this up. Hopefully, won't need my knife. Alright, oh, I got the manual too. So this here is a Montgomery Wards smoke detector, as you can see. Montgomery Wards model 84-7 1666-00, I think. It might just be 84-7, I don't know. And I'll show you why I think that in just a minute. But, so yeah, I'll take you guys down here. This is Montgomery Wards relabel of BRK's 79R, which I have right here. Now, this one, it's basically the exact same unit, but it has a different cover design, as you can clearly see. BRK has the standard 6 sections of vents, with, there's, I think, what, 6 rows of vents here in the center. The Montgomery Wards design is slightly different. It has the same exact side vents on the side. There's large, thick side vents, but the top vents are these sort of small... They're almost like the Honeywell CD200A vents, actually, just closer to the center. And there's these 4 on either side that go closer into the middle. And then it's divided into like 2 halves with these triangles here. It's a pretty cool design. And it reminds me quite a bit of the First Alert SA80FC, actually, which I don't have handy right now, but it's that similar design. They have that sort of the 2 triangles facing opposite directions. So yeah, now this one has the dome button, as you can see, just like my SA76, or sorry, 79R. And let's go ahead and open it up. So here's the inside, and this one, is this one like my 79R? No, this one is not like my 79R. This one has, well, it has the later style piezo horn, what we call the bagel horn, with the 3 small holes and the large central hole. The round 79R sensor, as you can see. But this one's circuit board has the green markings on it, unlike this one, which has the red. The red one, from what we can tell, the red markings came first, and then they switched to green. And then after green, they switched to black. So this is probably a mid-production model. Let's take a look at the date stamp on the sensor here. I think that's a 3, so that might be from 1983, which would make perfect sense because the dome button came out around 1981 or 1982, and I think that's around also the same time they switched from the red marking to green. Yeah, so this is very cool. There is no sensitivity adjustment, which is kind of interesting, but this one's got the red colored LED, where the actual plastic of the LED is colored red, not clear. So I showed you the back label already. Montgomery Ward, model 84-7. And I did get the manual. He gave me the manual with it, which is a very nice touch. But first, let's look at the inside of the cover here. This is information about replacing the battery. Some other stuff up there. Yeah, so it's a really cool design. And this design of the cover was actually also used by J.C. Penney. They relabeled their detectors for J.C. Penney, had rebranded BRK 79Rs with this exact same style cover. And now this also was used in Canada by the brand Mastercraft. They use this exact same cover design. Now, this is actually not my first Montgomery Wards unit that I have, because if you remember, I've actually never made a video about it, but I do have this right here. This is just a base, and you might say, hey, well that looks like an SA76RS or a 77R. We'll turn it over, and this is actually a Montgomery Wards model. This is the predecessor to this version. This is the 83-7-166600. That's why I thought the 166600 was part of the model number, because it is on those. Now the did I put my 77R somewhere? Yeah, the version of this one would have a different cover. It would look almost like this, except it wouldn't have these side vents here. It would just be like straight up and down like that. And I had my BRK 77R around here somewhere, and I can't find it because I was going to interchange the cover. But you get the idea. They would use the exact same cover. And these covers are interchangeable, actually. So if I put this one's cover on there, you can see it fits. And this one's cover also goes on the 79R. Yep. And likewise, the 79R's cover can go on this one, and it can also go on this one. So, let's get a battery and power up this one now. And as we saw with the first alert, these like to test themselves when I power them up, so I'm gonna expect that. Yep. Alright, cover back on. Let's give it a real test now. So yeah, it sounds in the classic BRK pulse. It's got kind of like the later sound where it has a bit of a slower pulse pattern. And I did see that the LED pulses in time with the alarm horn pulsing. Yeah, another characteristic of the slightly later ones. So that's very cool. I guess I'll take the cover off and test it without the cover. Alright, now let's take a look at the manual, since we were very kindly given it to go over as well. Well, first of all, here's the front of it again. This one is just for... It's funny, this one says 166600. It doesn't even say 84-7. So that could easily be mistaken as being for this model as well, which also has that 166600 suffix. So that's pretty interesting. But other than that, I'm expecting this to be just like the manual for the 79R, which I actually should have gotten that, because I do have the manual for my 79R. But oh, and there's the diagram, and this one's diagram does show the older style red colored or rust colored horn. I don't have a rust colored horn unit up here handy to show, but you get the idea. Oh, it also shows the tiered button too. I didn't even notice. Alright, well, it's a manual. It's very cool. So, yeah, now, I mentioned this was the unit that came after the rebrand of the SA76RS or 77R, and this was basically the version that was a rebranded 79R. They did have a version that actually came after this, and it was a rebranded of the SA76, or sorry, SA67D. So it had a cover that was similar to the BRK 83R, which, if you know, it doesn't look like this. It's kind of a little bit smaller than this one, actually, the first alert cover. But it had these same vents on it. So very similar vents to that on the top. And most of the ones that we've seen have the false alarm metal sensor like that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'd like to find one of those as well. And I'd also like to find a complete 83-7 to go with this one now, since I finally have one with an actual complete cover. And now that I'm seeing it in person, it's a really cool design. I do like how it looks. So yeah, I think that's about it for this video. Once again, a huge shout out and thank you to Frank for sending me this unit. And yeah, so let's give one more test. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next video.